This is Clarence Hill and Shereen Williams coming to you from Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium, whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is the Cowboys got their butt kicked in what was supposed to be an NFC showdown for first place. The Eagles came in here and drilled them, a Thanksgiving Day slaughter.
It was ugly, Clarence. I mean, they couldn't do anything. Gave up a season high in yards, 464 yards, season high in rushing yards. LaShawn McCoy ran all over them. But the bigger surprise to me was obviously Tony Romo and the fact that this offense could not get anything going. They had to match the Eagles, and they just weren't able to do that. And I think, you know, the short week probably didn't help. It probably didn't help Romo's back. It probably didn't help this defense in preparing for them. But let's fast forward a little bit, because they play Chicago on Thursday, and then they get extra days to actually prepare for the Eagles in what could be a first-place showdown next time.
That you guys have 10 days to prepare for them the next time, as opposed to just this really quick week.
I mean, like I just told the other people, it doesn't matter if we have 10 days. If we go up to Chicago and lose, it ain't going to matter. You got to win these games, man. You got to win these home games. We got to start respecting our home field, respecting our fans, and take care of our business at home. We can't keep falling behind and thinking, oh, we got the magic potion to get out of this hole. Just disappointed, man. We kind of pissed away opportunities.
Is it to basically start right here in this locker room for some players to be able to?
Where else would it start? Outside with the fans? Or with the media? Where else would it start?
We talked about, you know, whether the Cowboys are exposed, and certainly the players here, and they have some pride about themselves. This was not the type of showing they wanted, and what should have been a showdown for first place in the NFC East. They went out there and got embarrassed tonight in front of national audience on Thanksgiving Day, when everybody's watching. Everybody looks at the Cowboys and say, this is a team who they've been in the past few years. This is a team who we thought they were. The players are upset about their performance. Again, they have to respond.
Yeah, Orlando Scandrick said, it's in front of us, but we have to play better than we did. It's all on us, and that's the fact of it. They've got to play better than what they did tonight to turn this thing around and get back on track. And we all know their December woes. We're going to be talking about that until they play Chicago. They're not good in December. They all claim that they aren't that same team that we've seen these past few years, but until they prove it, we don't know that. They can talk all they want, but they've got to go out and show it.
The question I want to know is, was this a bad game based on all that stuff, or did the Cowboys get exposed? You know, did the Eagles expose the Cowboys? We already knew the defense was not as good as they were playing, and certainly they got exposed. And Jerry Jones acknowledged that, hey, we were challenged on defense. You know, the way we're supposed to win this game, we're supposed to dominate things on offense, and our offense did not respond. He was most disappointed in Romo's play and the play of the offense, because they have to respond, they have to lead the way, and they didn't do that tonight. Romo had his worst game since the 3-interception meltdown in the season opener. DeMarco Murray rushed for less than 100 yards for only the second time this year. They couldn't get the ball outside the Dez Bryant, and that offensive line got killed. The Eagles won both sides of the line of scrimmage. They will beat the Cowboys up front, offensive line, defensive line. But yeah, this vaunted offensive line got killed.
No, obviously, it's disappointing. You want to win. You want to be able to come out with a win, especially against a division opponent. But what it comes down to is just execution and finish and fight and continuing to improve. You know, we talk about it throughout the season, and you can't become stagnant at the end of the year, because everybody's getting better. There's a lot of good players out there.
Were you surprised that Tony was still out there with the game kind of out of reach in the last 8 minutes?
I don't think so, because it's not my job to make those calls as far as who's in and who's out. And, I expected. I mean, I was still in there. It's a team game. The team's still playing. We're going for a win.
Now, the Cowboys' next game is at the Chicago Bears, and certainly the Bears are not having the season everybody thought they would, but they are a team that can give the Cowboys problems for the same reason the Eagles did. They have a running game, a nice running back in Matt Forte, who can make plays out of the backfield, make plays with his feet, and two big-time receivers who gave the Cowboys fits last year. And again, we talk about this defense struggling to get pressure on the quarterback and covering on the backside. You know, that's going to be an issue in Chicago.
Yeah, and you talk about the cold weather, too.
Yeah.
Jason Garrett is 2-2 in his tenure with 32 degrees or below. So they've got to prove they can win in the cold weather against pretty good offensive teams. The Bears stink. You better go win this one. If you don't, it's May Day and the season might be over.
This is Clarence Hill and Shereen Williams coming to you from AT&T Stadium following the Cowboys' embarrassing blowout loss to the Eagles. In what should have been a showdown, it became a slaughter.